ladies and gentlemen, your hosts, Lorelei and Space Deviant.
It happened. Somehow, the unthinkable happened. Red Sonja was remade.
One of my top-tier favorite childhood icons is getting the girl boss treatment.
You know the new Red Sonja is 5'7"?
Say what you will about Brigitte Nielsen as an actress, but she was a 6'1" supermodel who looked the part. Dino De Laurentiis and Richard Fleischer gave us two Campbell's Heroes journeys in one sword and sorcery epic, all while appreciating dramatic horseback riding and stunning Italian landscapes set to a peak Enrico Morricone soundtrack.
It goes pretty hard for what's supposed to be a B movie.
But the remake, they're turning her into another "you're perfect just the way you are" stereotypical modern female lead,
Unable to grow and change.
with a kind of hollow, macho stoicism that makes her completely unrelatable, undesirable, and downright unlikable.
Now, what did the 80s movie do right?
Now, the 80s Red Sonja's true victory wasn't killing Queen Gedren in physical combat, but defeating the Gedren that had lived rent-free in her mind since their encounter in the prelude of our story. Sonja won by finally foregoing her twisted ethos of "no man may have me who hasn't defeated me in a fair fight." She finally put to rest the residual effects of Gedren's evils when she quit allowing a blanket hatred of men to control her.
Sonja, you must learn to like men a little better. They are not all evil.
But she isn't the only character who changes. Prince Tarn goes through his own coming-of-age hero's journey.
Quickly, come to me.
Don't give me orders, slave, or I'll have you hung by the heel.
He starts out a brat.
But in the end, he's willing to be left behind in order for everyone else to escape.
Save yourself! Run for it! You too, Falcon, you freak Glencio! Run! Run for it!
Obviously, Calidor isn't going to allow that, but the kid had grown.
Yes. That's the point of any story, that humans are capable of overcoming. And in the act of doing so, we become more than what we began as.
Like Prince Tarn.
Who learn to be selfless and brave.
Or Red Sonja.
Who stopped letting her past dictate her future. She had wanted Calidor since he'd pulled her bacon out of the fire at Breytag's toll road. I know the look of a woman who's enjoying watching a man put in work.
But she still fought as hard as she could in that fake forest fight, even though he could have beaten her.
I mean, maybe that was the point. As the Lord of Lucernia, it was beneath him to force her. And her genuine feminine instinct is to want to submit to a man who shows consistent care, is deeply competent, physically superior, and morally righteous.
Queen Gedren destroyed her world. That's when she started to believe there's no good men.
But in the course of the story, Calidor and Falcon disprove this by their very nature.
Neither one of them do much changing or evolving.
But that's not their place in this story. I mean, they're grown men. They're supposed to be consistent. They both had their hero's journeys long before this tale began.
It's obvious that Arnold is mailing in his performance.
And Brigitte walked right off the runway and barely spoke English. But because there is actual quality in the story itself, this movie survives as more than merely a sum of its parts.
And if they retold that story with a less rubbery-looking monster, you probably wouldn't be clutching your pearls right now.
Let's step aside from my standard gripes of any teensy tiny female action heroes. Calidor is the real problem for modern writers. Hollywood's allergic to heroic men being put on any kind of pedestal.
Endlessly willing to bleed money on slop, as long as it means not giving the audience what we want.
Oh, that moment at Brytag's toll road when she realized there was no way she was going to be able to fight all of those henchmen alone, and then suddenly he appears. Swoon. Always in the background, just waiting for her to need him. I think most women hope and pray that they get a man whose competence more than makes up for her own shortcomings. And perhaps some of the lucky ones do. I mean, Red Sonja it's a classic.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a little unfortunate that your curse of the hairy ass that you've been giving it for all this time eventually didn't work.
It's a good almost 30-year run, it seems.
I knew it was too good to be true. I knew eventually it would fail because it's just a little lump of money waiting for them to. They've run out of.
It got one day in theaters. It was basically a made-for-TV movie in a time when, it's a step above streaming.
Yeah.
I'm still furious though. It sullies the.
Run out of all creative juice, so now they're just milling through all the old stuff, seeing what they can try to wring out of it just a little bit more, make a little money.
But they never actually, if they just would take even a story, I'm trying to think of one that's not like Barbarian Queen or something really terrible. But you could take like a mid B-level sword and sorcery. If you redid it like stroke for stroke but made it modern,
yeah,
it would still be watchable. It would still be
the problem
good.
Even those 80s, even the most BB movies are great in their own ways. You know what I mean? Like they have their own sword and sorcery way, and they just can't.
No, but they won't let men be men. That's literally what it comes down to. Women are not allowed to be sexy. They're not allowed to be rescued. They're not ever allowed to be appreciative or need a man. And men can't do what men have done in all stories since the dawn of time. Literally, like, swing a sword and rescue the maiden. It's the most basic of basic stuff that we as humans want to see. Like, pretty girl in tower gets rescued by men with muscles on horseback. It hits.
It's the modern age.
It's malicious.
We don't need men.
Speak for yourself. I mean, I don't like playing this game. Like, when we were watching...
It just doesn't make good stories.
Peacemaker.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay.
First season was alright.
I liked the first season. You know I like John Cena.
Every time it's like crash and burn, man.
He's not from Florida, but he is Tampa trash. You know, he's got that in his heart. He's one of mine.
Trash. Yeah, he's Tampa trash. Yeah.
So I love him. But they have that ridiculous, the wife of the director, whatever, where she goes into a bar and gets beat up.
I just don't get it.
You think that's the worst thing that happens to a woman if she goes nuts at a bar?
I'm just trying to understand. Like, they're trying to say she's mentally messed up because she lost her husband, boyfriend.
You want that character.
So she wants to go fight dudes in bars to show she's...
Yeah, the women don't do that.
Yeah, I don't.
There's not a single woman that... I'm not saying that women don't get in fights, but they don't get in fights that look like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's going to have a breakdown at her CVS and freak out, or something like really weird and specific and Karen-y. Like, I would believe that. I would believe a breakdown.
I just think they didn't know how to write the characters. But anyway.
No, but it's a man.
Yeah.
You wrote a man character. That bar fight stuff, you can do that if you've got a 32-year-old, whatever, just athletic male operator wants to go start a fight and get the shit kicked out of him because he's feeling bad. That's fine. He's not going to end up in the back That's what happens to her at a nasty bar. And we probably have to cut that out because God forbid we have any realism in what we talk about. That I have to say something like grape soda if I want to talk about what really happens. But we're not allowed to live in reality in the world that actually exists.
You don't see any of that in the 80s Red Sonja. Oh, there's none of that. It's complete.
Yeah, they start the movie out, or they start the whole movie out with grape soda. That's what.
Yeah.
That's what she gets served by Gedren's guards.
But I'm
was
saying
grape
it's-
soda pop.
Yeah, I'm saying it's
Hate this
completely different.
timeline. Can't be adults, can we? But they treated reality how it actually worked. The kid was going to get like drawn and quartered.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were drawing quartering him. Yes. In the process.
They
of
were
it.
in the
Yes.
process of drawing and quartering him. Okay. That it's a cheese whiz sword and sorcery movie, and it has more realism.
More realism than 80-90% of the stuff that's
It's so
on TV
frustrating.
nowadays.
It's so frustrating, especially because we live in a world where so much of it does seem to be descending into the darkest of darkness. And then over here in the West, by people who hate the West, ostensibly, who go out of their way to belittle honestly, the Christianity and the ethics that originally built the West for 1,000 years. And they'll do anything to deride that, yet they live in the bubble of its safety while they diminish its foundations.
We can argue foundations of United States all day long, but
I'm talking about the West. I'm not specifically
West.
the United States.
Okay.
The entire West.
Well, we could argue that, it's held us back 300 or 400 years, but
Well, you'd be
You know,
wrong, but
as far as technologically and such goes, but
yeah. We get behind a paywall, I will argue that with you all afternoon. Okay. But till we get behind that paywall, let's try to dance around the subject. And it just goes back to I want stories where people act like real human beings. When we were watching The Witcher, when we were watching, I couldn't get
no one
through
can
any of
relate.
those.
No one can relate to the characters. That's the problem. They've created these fantasy, so it's a fantasy character, but you still have to be able to relate to the character.
Yeah.
Or what's the point?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean,
With Henry Cavill, they left so much money on that table. There was no reason that he shouldn't, we were just talking about it, he should have been on screen 70 to 80% of the time, and that would have made both the men and the women watching happy.
They should have just let him
I
write
don't
it.
care about Ciri. I don't care about Yennefer. I don't see myself in them. I'm not into their story. I didn't watch the 3rd season because after I got through the 2nd and I saw what they were doing with it and where they were going with it, I was out. I was there for the Cavill. All right? I mean, I didn't play the video game. All right? I was there for horses, landscapes, and Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
And you know what I didn't get? Enough of any 3 of those. Okay?
Yeah.
I got a bunch of girl power. And everybody asking, where's Ciri? Where's Ciri at? Where's Ciri?
They should have just said, hey,
where's the Ciri show?
We need to have, if they would have been smart, they'd been like, we need to have him look over this. But they'll never do that. He should have been he should have been a co-producer.
Executive producer.
He should have been a co-executive producer because of his knowledge and dorkdom behind.
You can't have writers who hate the original source material.
No.
When you're hiring writers, their go-to is talking smack about the Polish dude who's writing it. You're out, bud. Like, that guy should be there every weekend. Like, laying down the law, putting fine-tuning costumes and silliness. And instead they were disrespectful, dismissive. Hadn't Henry played all of the games? Didn't he dork out hard like how he does.
He's as
He's
dork
king of the
as dork.
nerds.
He's king of
Yeah.
the nerds, especially as far as that. And was he supposed to be doing the new Space Marines one?
Mm.
So it's supposed to be his next, but
Just
as far as
do what
Red
Henry
Sonja,
wants.
as far as Red
Please
Sonja,
just do.
it's like, how could we? Who would we even have?
Calidor. He'd make an excellent Calidor.
He would make a pretty good Calidor. I mean,
he'd make a great Calidor. He'd be patient with her BS when she's very standoffish at first. There's no reason why we couldn't have a ginger vol. You're telling me there's no ginger volleyball players? There's no 6-foot-something athletic 24-year-old volleyball players that could.
this day and age, you don't even have to give her red hair anymore. You could just,
God, just quit.
you could just make her
wear a wig.
black haired.
No, she's Red Sonja. I want a ginger, or at least they gave Brigitte a blonde ass a mullet, and they were just
just give her red hair extensions. She can do it. You can do it, Bridget.
Oh, you know what? It was real bad, but I was still there for it. So you know what? You want to give her that spiky mullet and just rock with it? If they'd at least made her look the part. Like I said, some mean German shock putter or something that was like attractive but very physical, I would have bought it. She doesn't have to be a good actress. She just has to look the part. She plays a hurt woman.
Yep.
It's just not super nuanced, okay? It's a comic book character level. And Brigitte did fine. Barely spoke English. Still did fine. There's nothing wrong with that movie. It still is more enjoyable than most of the movies I've had to suffer through that were made in the past 5 years.
Yeah. 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Legitimately just more enjoyable. Watching them crawl up the side of the temple to break in. Oh, the outfits. All the priestesses in
great.
their outfits.
That's something I've noticed, that since the 80s, like all the original Dune, all those outfits were, all the 80s stuff, most of the time they were immaculate.
Costumes. Oh,
for costumes and sets, because none of it's CGI. It's all, created.
All real sets. She's gotten so lazy.
Yeah. Well, you have cheap CGI, so you can just...
Hercules and the Legendary Journeys was pulling better costumes than the new Red Sonja.
And their PR was terrible. Nobody even knew about the movie coming out. It was one of those, like, blips.
Oh, they knew it was bad.
It was blips. It was like, oh, this is new. That's all you heard about it.
They knew it was bad.
It was in and gone.
They knew the writing was bad.
Money grab.
It had been in production hell forever. It's like exploiting the name, but not... They didn't touch... Again, we pointed out, Tarn has a journey. There's no kid. There's no kid learning to be a man and to learning how to... And it was sacrifice. Remember, Tarn, they tried to leave him outside.
3 of us should go in. Who'll stand guard this doorway? The post of danger.
I'll stay.
Basically gaslit him like, oh, we need you to guard this. But they thought they were leaving him safe.
Mm-hmm.
No, he ends up got to battle the one guy. They did not know they were leaving him where he was going to have to fight for his life. Right. But he was totally willing,
making him feel important.
To do it.
Like, but
yes. Yes.
You can take care of this, and then he ends up actually having to fight.
He has to. And he saves them.
Yep.
And he's willing to die. He knows.
This is good story writing.
It's cheesy.
It was cheesy, but it was still good story writing.
It still works.
Yeah.
Oh, and the scene where he won't let Sonja spank Tarn for being a shit.
Yep.
You're not worth the effort, boy.
Boy? Boy?
Yes, boy. You'll never be anything else till you learn gratitude and self-sacrifice. Like Falcon. He's a real man.
But he shows the whole dynamic in his masculinity, and he sets an example, and then Sonja gets to shame the kid, which is really how women control behavior in society anyway. And she gets to raise Falcon up, And it ends up being a lesson. Like, there's good lessons in it. Yep.
Oh, the old days.
Yeah, well, we could actually have a morality tale.
Just character growth, even.
Yeah.
Nowadays,
All of
it's
them
like
do.
none of them will have character growth even. They're already perfect.
The way they are.
They're showing how they're such badasses that they don't need to get any better.
I hate that. There's nothing weaker than a character that can't grow or change.
Yeah.
There's nothing more boring, more stagnant. I remember tapping out that horrible new Star Trek one, and a lot of people gave that first one credence, and I couldn't.
Talking the series or the movie?
Movie, where she immediately could fly the Millennium Falcon. I was out. I was out.
Millennium Falcon.
Right there.
Star Wars.
Yes, Star Wars. Yeah. She was the first boring brunette girl boss who could do everything perfect the first time. Yeah. And if she had just barely gotten the Falcon out of the sky, like scraping the fenders on the sidewalk and barely escaped, and he had to take over, like, oh my God, woman, you're gonna wreck my ride. I would have loved that. I could have gotten behind her, and by the end of the movie, she could be flying that Falcon like a test pilot, and I would have bought it all.
Controlling the rocks, like getting better at it. So they tried, but it was kind of like faux character growth. It was like right in the beginning of the movie. So it was like she can't be bad at anything. It's because they got so much garbage. They got so much crap from the first movie about that was like the first scene they had practically in the next.
I don't understand.
Remember, she was like levitating the rocks.
I never watched the second one. I couldn't get there anyway.
Yeah, so they tried to correct that because they probably got so much,
Oh, so they showed her practicing?
They showed her practicing. But I mean, she already
you're already a wizard.
She was already able to, like, out of nowhere, have like telepathic abilities, to be able to hold a whole like battleship in the sky. So,
and she could do the Jedi mind trick and got him to unlock her immediately without ever.
You will remove these restraints and leave this cell with the door open.
I will remove these restraints and leave the cell with the door open.
Yeah. No practice.
Now, if she couldn't do anything else, if she was underpowered and everything else, but out of nowhere she could do that one thing, and because she was on death, like she knew it was death, I'll give you that.
What they should have done is they should have showed some hind stuff of her like manipulating people, being like getting sales, like
and
selling them parts and
she's doing it.
And being like, you want to buy this stuff? And she'd be like, yes, I want to buy this.
Yes.
And then like, but she doesn't really make the connection until
that she's
like,
doing it. She
later.
just thinks she's a good salesman. If you had, yes,
they could have written her in a way that
female power, where it's not an outward blah 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 ninja jiggling power, okay, but it's the subtle. I'm gonna get in your mind,
engine parts,
and I'm gonna get you to do what I need you to do. And if they, like you said, if they had shown her being a hotshot salesman, where even though she's trash slave, she's still worth her weight in gold because she could sell ice to
or her as a little girl, like pushing rocks with her mind, like just playing around or something.
I know we're getting off a side tangent. We're not talking about Red Sonja, but it's that Rey. She was the new beginning of, to me, what is the most hated archetype of perfect just the way you are. I wanted to see her fail. Like, you could have given me a boring brunette and built her up to something. If maybe they'd worked with her, I don't know, maybe she could learn something from Luke Skywalker rather than having him humiliate himself with green
milk. Which he understandably was pissed about the entire thing.
He still did it.
The money.
Did they hold a gun to his head?
The money.
Show a little dick. I mean,
it's about the money.
Yeah, and it shows.
And then he killed him by meditating too hard. Never have I heard such a thing. He battle meditated too good.
And they didn't get the three of them in the same room? No,
Red Sonja.
Not one single Han, Logan, Leia say, no, I'm not done yet.
So Red Sonja.
Oh. So yeah, they basically made a straight to VHS tape Red Sonja, even though we don't have VHS tapes anymore. The two best things that I have seen probably in the past 2 years were the Godzilla one, that was the Japanese movie, and the Kingdom, which was the Korean zombie historical.
Yep, that was good. That's real good.
I'm not a simp for foreign stuff, okay? It's just
because they display humanity the way it is, like as far as our
actual
core
stories.
attributes, instead of trying to make a false humanity to as a story plot and putting that out there as if it is true humanity. It's like, no, we've never been this over the past 100,000 years.
The cavemen don't work like that.
That's not how cavemen work. It's like you're a fraction of a fraction of a percent of people. You're selling to less than 1%.
Those are cityfied artifice people that don't live mentally ill. Like, they don't live in reality. They're not. This is not caveman people. This is not your standard issue comes out set. I mean, and that's the funny thing is, it's even though culturally Korea and Japan are vastly different, I'm finding more in common with those stories, even though nuanced wise, there's a lot of stuff that's different that does not hit for my Western brain, where I have to be like, ooh, I don't get this. So this has to be one of those things that's lost in the sauce of translation. And I'm okay with that when watching it, because the rest of it, like, I'm so deprived of good television that I'm able to get into a 14th, 15th century Korean zombie flick and be like just sobbing over it.
That was good storytelling.
It was great storytelling, and the heroes evolved and there was sacrifice. It was wonderful. Why am I not getting those stories out of Hollywood?
It's a good question.
Stop disrespecting the characters. It's not that hard to be. You could write Peacemaker Season 2. Let John Cena be Cheese Whiz like he wants to be in his soul.
Any more questions? Yeah, Canadian tuxedo.
Do you have a pet?
I do have a pet.
Let the Tampa trash fly.
Let
Eagle.
Eagly be Eagly. Oh, he's been the only
That was the best part.
He's the only
That was the best part of this last season.
Yeah, I'm literally only showing up for Eagly at this point. Oh, and his little buddy. I think his little buddy with the autism is sweet. But
I'd make a collage of the three of us, some chicks with a bunch of dolphins around us doing beer bongs in a Corvette.
I don't want a dolphin watching me.
But that's it. I don't care about any of the other characters. They don't act like real people. They could have.
I think a lot, this goes back to what I was saying before, a lot of these people, they need to get more input from their actors. A lot of it.
If they'd let that big ginger guy just act like that big ginger guy wants to act, he would be hilarious.
He would probably be great.
We never told you.
Okay, Diebeard.
Hey, guess what? I'm done.
It just like we were talking with the White Wolf. If we just let him do co-producing, if we let him actually have a say in the story, similarly, it would be a way better story. Well, he might actually be still in it, but
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, if they'd let Henry Cavill,
yeah,
it'd be more popular than ever. But the thing is, there'd be a masculine story. They don't want a masculine story. It's a naughty word. Men are allowed to be men. Men are allowed to be sexy and strong.
The name of the series is The Witcher. So you know what?
No, it's The Bitcher.
It's kind of like if we did like Jurassic Park and we took out like 80-90% of the dinosaurs and you just had like random other things that have nothing to do with it.
Just lizards and tourists.
Yeah. Just random other, it has nothing to do with lizards or dinosaurs. It's the same kind of concept. Like,
let's just have the problems of the hotel at Jurassic Park, but with none of the. It's just going to be a comedy about the bellhop. Like, I don't I don't like the stories you tell. Why do you think this is interesting?
Mm-hmm.
I just want to like shake him like a British nanny. Like, why do you think I want to see this story?
They could have just kept that one going, and it would be basically like the good old, like we were just talking about with Xena and Hercules, and they have, he's fighting these monsters they could have kept that going for 8 seasons.
Had done
easily.
That, the choices they made with the time jumps, there was no reason I had to watch that series 3 times to figure out what the hell was going on. Okay? But I did. And I got through it the first season.
I mean, if they would have just kept the time jumps and actually had a decent story, I would have been. If I had to trade off those two, I would have.
Agreed. There still was too much
time jumping,
Yennefer in the first season, as far as I was concerned. Why won't you give me what I want? We're telling you what we want.
Yeah.
We are pleading with you. Like, if you remake the Beastmaster, do it with a ferret and a hot blonde dude. I'm not asking the world of you. I want a loincloth and a Black Panther. Okay?
He's going to
be... Hit the notes.
He's going to be 5'5", and it's going to be like... He's going to be 5'5",
It's actually...
5'5" with a crooked nose and like
was born a woman.
Yeah.
Stop. And then you're going to be mad because I don't want to watch...
Yeah.
Your
why are you
beastless
hating?
masters.
Why are you hating? You're such a hater.
Yeah. Beast Mistress.
You get shamed for.
Yeah, I'm not going to watch
for
it.
adhering to what's hundreds of thousands of years of
my biology.
Human biology is.
My lizard brain was like, oh, Henry Cavill,
why don't you stop
wig.
trying to reprogram people and actually listen to hundreds of thousands of years?
Well, you just kind of said it, didn't you? They're busy trying to reprogram the children. They think
mind blown.
They think. Well, what I find amusing is these Z's, these younger generations are more based.
What they want, and it's been proven it works, is they want socially. Everybody controls everybody. Has control over each other.
The window.
Socially,
yeah,
you'll get changed because everybody thinks you should act this way, and it's socially unacceptable. So you need to start behaving that way, and that's what they're hoping is going to happen.
I haven't seen my Instagram algorithm. I can tell you that much.
Yeah,
I'm over here with my cave woman-tism, like that doesn't make my brain go sparkle with man happiness. And there's tons of hunky young dudes. Like, you didn't have to be Henry. He's expensive. You could get me some, like, cheap bodybuilder boy. Just don't have him talk too much. It'll be fine. But just give me a normal sword and sorcery epic. Give me hunky dudes and beautiful broads that need rescuing. I mean, even the first Conan, Sandal Bergman. She's a thief. She did her climbing. She did the acrobatic stuff. She wasn't overpowered strength-wise. She was, do you want to live forever? And she jumped. She was ballsy. Do you want to live forever? Okay. But she also got drunk and made him give her the biggest diamond that he got. Tell me that's not some woman shit.
Yep. Fits the thief's, kind of. You mean they actually made characters that fit roles?
They got
like
drunk as monkeys all weekend, and she got the biggest diamond at the end of the weekend. Okay, like that. I'm okay with all of those characters, and they go on an adventure. Are they super moral? No.
Well, we're leaving out the wizard guy.
I'm a wizard, mind you.
Well, the wizard guy was a wizard. Originally, they went to him. They saved him from the tree as he died. And then she made the deal with the demons to bring him back. And she knew it was going to cost her life. And she made the deal anyway.
The wizard? I told him I would pay the gods.
And this is why in the second movie, when he doesn't get with the little princess, we get it.
Rule Shadizar with me.
I will have my own kingdom. My own queen.
Because he still loves Valeria. Heaven forbid. We write a story with characters worth being upset over. We write a story where characters actually have a little bit of...
Maybe that's what we need to do. Write a story. A lot of these I watch them, I'm like, I could write a way better story. I've got a secondary story running on my mind, like how I could have written that. It's like, nah.
Well, okay, Red Sonja, if I was to remake Red Sonja, how I'd have it is her character, you could do it one of two ways, depending on how young you wanted to make her. Now, if she's supposed to be a bit older, you could have had the thing where she was one of the priestesses who was in the outfits, and then she ran off with the baker's son when she was younger. And she was supposed to take over. She was training. She was going to be hot shit. She knew a bunch of secrets, so she can kind of be in with the priestesses. But no, she's a mom. She's got her life. She's got her husband. She's got, his parents or whatever set up. Her little sister is going to be a priestess or whatever. So she's going to take her little sister up there.
And that's when
the
village,
attack happens.
That's when the village gets raided. Yeah.
And then her children die, or some of her children die. Maybe she doesn't find out till later that some of them are living. And her parents and her husband dies. And you could have her be, early 30s or late 20s and lose her family.
But
and have
still
it
be like one of the chosen priestesses kind of thing. But
because she was raised from, let's say, 12 to 17. But then she got pregnant and ran off. So you had 5 years of study. You could have done it. You could have had her hooked into it.
Yep.
And then you could have had the Calidor guy be the guy that she was supposed to marry when she turned 19, but she'd run off with the baker's son, and he ended up marrying someone else. So you could have theoretically woven some romance tale back in where she gets with the man that she was promised to years ago, and she ends up fulfilling her destiny that maybe some witch told her she was always going to have to fulfill. You could have done it.
You could have, and you could have even tied a little bit more of like some of the Viking mythos with the Viking culture, because that's a lot of women in Viking culture. There were a number of Viking women who were warriors.
The perfect.
So
if you had done it because you have the perfect thing where you have to have women there because you have the talisman that only women can touch. If you'd have had where, women from all over, blah, blah, they come and they train to be priestesses and guard it, but then it's also guarded by the men, like it should be, the Lords of Likurnia around it. Oh, the strategy where they were cut off from here and then they were left vulnerable, so that's how they died during the attack, because there were only female priests there. There's supposed to be a bunch of men around. You could have written it with corruption, Gedrin taking over slowly. She kills her husband, who was a good king, and then she takes over the empire and corrupts it. If you'd wanted to have a leading story,
that would have been good. Yep.
A series. I could write you a Red Sonja series. All right. But we have to have masculine men and women that occasionally need rescuing and that are wrong. Women that can be wrong and that can learn from their mistakes because they're human.
How dare you?
I know. Sprinkle ashes on my head and sit in sackcloth. I should be so ashamed of myself for thinking that women can be human beings that grow and improve and become better.
Wrong. You should know that. Men are evil. The devil.
It's all a trick. It's all a trick to destroy families. It's all a trick. It makes me so angry to see men and women pitted against each other when it's they're made as a matched set to pick up where the other.
Deja vu. Just had deja vu.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's cool.
You saying that?
Oh, that's funny. Well, I mean, it's a belief. I do believe that. I believe men and women they're made for each other. It's not just a Bible story. And they're also better together. They bring out the best in each other. Like, women are happiest when they are well loved. Like, the most beautiful women I have ever seen, the ones that age the best, the ones that are the healthiest, are the ones that are well loved by a competent masculine man. It is the greatest beauty trick you can have as a woman, is to have a good husband. At least from what I can tell. I'm tired of pretending, culturally, that being without a man or being alone is just as good. Because it's simply not. And I don't want to see a Red Sonja do the thing without a Calidor.
Speaking of that, see, they should do the next series. They should bring in and have the king bring in Conan.
Oh, Conan
and have
proper.
Conan prop and have him as the king, and they should actually do that. Bring in Arnie as the old king.
That would have been so good.
I mean, they could still theoretically. He's still alive.
If you'd had, and you, what's her name? Who? Oh, she played a villain in a bunch of Law and Orders, but she was the little princess gal.
How do you attract a man? What I mean is, suppose you set your heart on somebody. What would you do to get him?
Grab him and take him.
She still looks marvelous. She could absolutely play like Grandma Queen of a different realm. Like, it should have been a series.
Still could.
Yeah.
Could. We have to keep.
I'll bring in Brigitte Nielsen. I'm doing right. Make it right. Calidor plays 2 parts. Harney will have to play Calidor and Conan.
Or you have it where he ends up marrying her instead. Ends up marrying Brigitte Nielsen's.
Well,
Fred
Calidor would
Sonja.
have to.
Yeah.
Calidor would, but again, Conan's not Calidor. But that would be great. Have Arnie play Calidor and Conan. Have them both in the same world. Different outfits. Just give them different headbands.
I was playing incognito. They didn't know the whole time. Yeah.
That's what I want. Him with his heavy ass Austrian redneck accent. Playing both roles.
America, built to last.
That's right.
No, that's right. They be flying that flag all night.
Red, white, and blue.
Thank you for joining us here today. We really do appreciate your time. I'm Lorelei, and this is
Space Deviant.
And together, we are Southern Fried Cinema Siblings. And remember, the most important story is the story you tell yourself, so
make it a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. You're still here, are you? Well, why don't you make yourself useful? Click the share button. Click the subscribe button. May as well go ahead and click for the next episode, too.